Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope you're doing really well in this moment in time, and that whenever and wherever you happen to be on this marvelous matrix, that you remember to, well, check yourself before you wreck yourself, baby. Now, today what I'm talking about is that sometimes people have a tendency to put a bunch of stuff on you, right? And sometimes people have a tendency to take a bunch of stuff on them, right? And the stuff isn't always their stuff. The stuff sometimes comes from other places. Maybe stress from the universe. Stress from so much bad news. A friend of mine wrote to me, and PG&E, the company who's responsible for the millions and millions and millions of acres of fires, wildfires in California, they're paying people not in money, but in stock in a company that they hate. Oh my God. Okay, well, we're not going to talk about that, but he wrote to me today and he said, I'm just feeling this horrible anxiety, this horrible anxiety. And tomorrow will be the 17th anniversary. It's been 17 years since my first house burned down by PG&E. And I'm still here waiting for a settlement for them burning my house down a second time. Oh my God. And he's like, and even though that's my scenario, even though the house that you saw, I saw his house like 12 years ago. He says, even though the house that I built with my own hands is no more, and I'm sitting on a little tiny travel trailer on my land where my house used to be, I'm still, he's normally positive and he's very open, energetically to the spiritual world. And he said, it's just like, I can't put a finger on it, but I have this overall generalized anxiety. And I don't know what it is. And he told his friend, and his friend said, you know what, man, I cannot even handle one more bit of bad news. I can't handle one more bit of bad news. And the reason he said that is just, it's so crazy intense, isn't it? Just lately, it's been really, really intense. Temperatures within 48 hours across the northern hemisphere of the whole planet dropped. They plunged by 60 degrees in 48 hours. It was 99 degrees in Colorado. And the next day, 39 degrees. Like that. I won't say overnight, but over 2 nights. Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, it's cold here where I've been living in Ecuador. It's supposed to be, well, quite a bit warmer than it has been. It's been like 43 degrees at night. That's, I don't know, maybe because there's microclimates all over this country. So possibly it's normal for where I'm at. If I went back up the road 7 minutes where I used to live, maybe it would be a little bit warmer at night. It won't be as nice a place. And I am overlooking the, little tiny creek. Sometimes it's so small, I consider it a creek. It's not quite a creek, but lately it's a creek. We had a lot of rain. It's been raining like crazy, like cats and dogs. Today was the first day of sunshine, But I don't know. It's like sometimes we take on this energy of the world. And as we take on the energy of the world, we have all this anxiety. So I'm going to give you a really quick and dirty way to get rid of that negative energy that other people put on you. And I got this idea from, oh my God, I can't remember who, but somebody from the internet. And I saw this quick little, hey, do this. And I'm like, oh yeah. Now they said something that I'm going to give you something different. But what they said was to go ahead and imagine scissors are cutting away, a bunch of little scissors cutting away everywhere between you and whatever strings other people put on attached to you for whatever reason. You know, it doesn't have to be romantic or friendship, like people that want to be your friend that you don't want to be friends with at all. I don't mean like that. I mean just energy that people put on you. Things that they say you did, that they blamed you, that they, you know, try to put guilt and shame and horrible energy on you because they're feeling it themselves. You know, and it could be the anxiety, the generalized anxiety, the universe, all the stuff that people are putting on you. Instead of having a whole bunch of little tiny scissors, that's what this person had said. One big, giant, motherfucking scissor. Imagine this thing is like 3 times bigger than you. Don't get in its way. Cut all of it at once. Not like, well, so-and-so said she didn't like my hair. Cut that with the tiny scissor. And that person over there, he cut me off in traffic. We'll cut that. No, one big fucking scissor. You only have to do it 4 times and visualize it 4 times. Once in front of you, once to the right of you, once to the left of you, and once to the back of you. And if you wanted, you know, for good measure, 1 below your feet, 1 above your head, just to cut all the crap. Cut the crap, baby. Just cut it out. Cut all of it. Boom! You don't need that crap anymore. Gone. Bye. Just imagine that sound that the scissors make. You know, of course, it might be more of a bong sort of, you know, very loud sound because it's huge scissors. Now, if you don't like the idea of scissors, you can go ahead and take out your handy-dandy imaginary sword you create with your mind. You know, if you don't like swords, it could be like a giant sword made of ice and it melts afterwards. You know, be creative. It's your own mind. But once you cut the energy, you could do it however you like. You go, if you're a witch, pull out your athame and use your athame to cut all, just, you know, wave your arms wildly. You know, windmill, windmill, windmill. Wave your arms wildly and just cut the crap out. Now, what about the people who send it to you? Well, if you know specific people, they're always thinking negative thoughts about you. I used to have a friend who used to call me, and he and I we're not, it's funny, like if we talked today, we'd be absolutely the best of friends, but I haven't talked to him in like a year or more. He's busy. He's really busy, but you know, we used to talk every day, and all of a sudden he started drinking heavily again, and now he's not an alcoholic. He's a former alcoholic, and he's doing okay, thank God. But for a while he called me every day for like 2 months when I was going through the worst of my life. Going through the divorce with my children's father, and I had just separated our households, and it was really, really hard. It was a hard adjustment, and I had just lost my job. It's like all this crap, and I was living in government housing to the point, and I was so poor that the government was paying me $85 a month to live there. They were literally giving me $85 to cover all of my house bills. Like, and then I had other subsidies where it's just like, okay, well, you don't have any income, we'll pay your lights, we'll pay your whatever, here's your $85 from the government. I'm like, what the hell? Oh my God. Because I had a job when I moved in, but I lost the job. I was sexually harassed at work. The guy I was a merchandiser, and he took my planogram, which is just a piece of paper, and I showed him what I was doing, and he started screaming at me and said, I can't do that. I'm like, the companies that pay for the grocery stores to exist and that ultimately pay your salary have told me to do this. We have to move the yogurt around, move the cheese around, the dairy cases in all of the chain that we were in at the time. I'm like, we have to, fix it, move it around. That's just the way it is, that's just what I have to do. He got angry at me and he shoved the planogram against my breasts, and then he put in a couple little squeezes there, like to molest me through the paper. And I just got absolutely livid. I said, well, you know what? Fine. I'm going to let them know, and they can call the, they'll call the powers that be. And because this isn't happening, you're going to be fined. It's like a $1,500 fine. If they don't have all of everything has to be in compliance. So, if you have a chain of 30 stores, and the peach yogurt has to be on the top freaking shelf to the right in every store because it has to be uniform. And if you don't have things uniform, and if you don't have the labels right, for every label in California that you get wrong, it's a $1,500 fine. So it's like, fine, I don't give a crap anymore. And you know what? You can just F the hell off. And I said it to him next to him where no one else can hear. And then I said, I'm the hell out of here. And I left. And as I left, I called him an asshole. And the woman manager, she actually told me, she told me that she's going to complain to my company because I said the word asshole and 2 customers heard me say it. I go, do you want to know why I said it? And she said, okay, why? And I told her why. And I got fired and he did not. He got to grab my breasts at work without my permission. And he got to keep his job. God got the last laugh, though, when, the fires came and burned his store to the frickin' ground. And the whole town and killed 80 people. But hey, but this is like the worst time in my life. I was going through this horrible. So these are the things were happening, right? Not only did I lose my job, it was in a really horrible way. I mean, this was like, going back 11, 12 years. And it was like a really bad time in my life. And this person kept calling me. And we would talk and everything would be good for like 10 minutes. And then he would start crying. And he'd go, I can't believe how sad your life is. And he'd start laundry listing every effing thing that ever happened to me from everything I ever told him, because we were like best friends. And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? Don't laundry list my life back to me. I don't need to hear that shit. I need to move from this point forward on. And every day he'd call and he'd start in. I'm like, I got to hang up on you now. And then he'd call me 10, 20, 30 times, in a row to get me to answer the phone. And it was like ridiculous. It got to the point where I had to shut off my phone and I had to unplug my house phone because I just couldn't hear that crap anymore. And what I know now from what I know then, back then, the only way I could deal with it, shut off the phone. F you, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Get help. Don't be an alcoholic. Stop effing calling my house. It got to that point after 2.5 months. I'm a very patient woman. I let him treat me like this for 2.5 months because he was one of my best friends. But he kept laundry listing. Oh, isn't it so sad that you were abused as a kid? Oh, isn't it so sad that your husband did this and said that? And isn't it so sad that... and he just went on and motherfucking on. And I'm like, no, I can't handle this, right? So how I handled it back then is different than I handle it now. How I handle it now, and this is it. Usually I have Archangel Michael come. I ask God, please send me Archangel Michael. And I ask him to put his cloak of invisibility, like Harry Potter, over me. And it's kind of like a beautiful cobalt blue. And you can imagine this for yourself. You have to ask God to send the angels to you. Don't ask the angels directly. A lot of people get into the habit of calling upon all the archangels that were ever listed in every holy book ever, not realizing that a lot of us are freaking living on earth right now as humans in a body. You start calling upon me to help you with something. What's going to happen is you're going to drain my physical energy and I'm going to be ineffective to help the world. And I'm here to help the world as an archangel, right? So it's really hard for us to handle. So it's easier for you to say, please God send Archangel Michael, right? Or if you don't know the name of the archangel if you need the Archangel of Death, say the Archangel of Death, right? Because I'm going through a grieving process, I need the Archangel of Death. That way you're not saying, I need Archangel Azrael. You're not asking my spirit to come and comfort you, which it will. And then when it does, it drains me. I wake up after 12 hours of sleep sometimes and I'm absolutely dead to the fucking world and I'm inefficient and I'm not helping the world. And I'm here to specifically hold the energy for God as it pours through me to heal all of you, everybody. That's what all the archangels that are incarnate, and a lot of us are here right now to help you guys. So that's why I'm doing the show. That's what's happening, right? So ask Archangel Michael to come. Ask God to send Archangel Michael to come, and he could cut everything around you with this big, huge, honking battle sword. Cut all that energy. Just woo, slice it, baby. And he'll cut the cords immediately. He'll cut all the cords between you and all the other people. And that helps too. And then with the cloak, I call it the cloak of invisibility, but the cloak of Archangel Michael, he throws this around you and you won't be unaffected by the rest of the energy if any gets thrown your way. And you can ask for it every day if you need to, but you have to ask God to send it to you. So, scissors, sword, Archangel Michael. And what I learned with my friend who was doing this to me, I finally was able to just, I finally used Archangel Michael to cut all that energy. But what I know now today that I didn't even know yesterday, this is the secret. If you cut the energy away from you, it might be that person is putting stuff on you because they cannot handle the burden that the universe and other mofos are putting onto them. So what you need to do is also gently ask God, can you please cut all the negative energy off of that person as well? Because it won't put it back on you. If they don't have it on them, they're going to feel lighter. Their house will feel lighter. Your house will feel lighter. Everyone will feel lighter. So all the people that are putting stuff on you, ask those cords to be cut one way or the other. A bunch of tiny little scissors and one giant honking scissor, my favorite, or Archangel Michael's sword, or however you like. You can even use the violet flame meditation that, Master Saint Germain used, that he told people to do. That's a big one. That one's a good one. And that's a good thing. So if someone is constantly yelling at you, putting crap on you, pushing their energy onto you, and someone might say something that's kind of neutral and doesn't feel like it's energetically a dig, and all of a sudden you feel like you just got punched in the gut, they are digging energetically into you, right? They're putting their hooks into you or they're punching you. I've talked to people where it seemed totally normal, but I felt like I got punched in the throat and I couldn't speak, or I got punched in the heart. And I felt really painfully aware that I'm sad suddenly. That came from nothing. I wasn't sad before the interaction with that person. So if you have these kinds of situations, if somebody just puts this negative energy, and they could punch you in your aura, in any of your chakras, you might feel the energy just kick you where you're like, ugh, if someone is sexually objectifying you, you might feel it in your, you might feel like a dart has hit your heart, or you might feel it in your first chakra, your root chakra, or your second, your sexual, sacred sexual chakra, Like if someone's trying to misuse your sexual energy against you by trying to get you to get turned on, that's something that happens as well. Some people, like they have a fantasy about you, and then they try to rope you into it, and you're like, dude, I'm not even like in a relationship with you. I don't ever want to be. I'm not attracted to you. You're not my dude. Like, come on. People do that, and they will do that. They'll try to manipulate your energy because they don't know better. They don't even know what they're doing. They just think that they're having a mental conversation. Ooh, let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. Let's do boo, 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 boo. hey, do you want to, and you're like, fuck no, of course I don't. But, they don't understand that they're manipulating, they're using their sexual energy to manipulate your sexual energy. And there's a lot of crap that goes on underneath the surface of the words that you hear and the words that you're speaking and the words that they're speaking. There's a lot of stuff underneath the surface. So, like, have you ever walked into a house with other people and they're all very judgmental, or they're like, maybe they're on drugs and you're not, so they're scared you're going to narc on them? Or have you ever gone, like, I've gone into parties where I had no idea that it was going to be a drug party, and I thought it was going to be a different kind of party, like, let's drink beer and listen to rock and roll type of party. And like, I've gotten there and it's like, ooh, this is not the vibe I thought it would be. My mom told me when she was in her 20s in Los Angeles, she got invited to a hangar party. I'm like, what the hell is a hangar party? This sounds horrible. It sounds so creepy, right? And she says it was really creepy, but not what you'd think. You walk in and they hand you a hanger to take all of your clothes off and put it on the hanger, because it's like an orgy party. Everyone's naked, everyone's having sex everywhere. I'm like, well, what did you do? And she's like, well, I didn't take I grabbed the hanger and I said, thanks. I walked into the place and I looked around and I hand the hanger back and I said, but no thanks. And I walked the hell out of there. She said it was the scariest thing she'd ever seen. It was creepy as hell. So I can't even imagine what her energy was like, how that shifted her energy. And sometimes it will shift your energy to walk into a place, and when it shifts your energy, all these people, they either put their hooks in you or they got their emotional, mental darts in your aura, if they're judging you, or they're, if they feel repulsed by you because they're being judgmental. Like if you go into a bar and you're just wearing like jeans and a t-shirt and you look kind of like not your best, and you walk in and everyone else is dressed to the nines and they're all sexy and beautiful and they've got all the things that, stop their bodies from sagging, bagging, and dragging, and you're like, should have worn my good bra, right? If you ever walk into a place and you're just like, I'm really out of place and very grossly underdressed and I feel weird, and then people look at you and you don't feel as weird as when people look at you and then you're like, oh, damn, I need to leave right now. And that energy gets glommed onto you, right? It's like you feel like you want to pick out, it's almost like you fall onto one of those little bushes where it's, it sticks onto have you ever walked through brush like next to a lake or something, and you come home and there's like 100 of those little sticky things that are really little and they look like a little wheel, and you just have to pick them out of your pants and out of your socks and off of your shoes and out of your dog's fur if you have a dog, and I feel like that's kind of what the energy is like that people send us, but it's like bigger. It's like big, huge, like dust bunnies or darts, and you're just like, ugh, it's dirty. You feel dirty after you've been in some places. And so the Archangel Michael's sword is a way to get rid of that. The giant scissors is a way to cut those cords, baby. But also ask that God clean up the aura and the junk of everybody else. So if you walk into a room, you don't know any of these people, but they've all judged you. Maybe people have judged them. Maybe they're not awake yet. Whatever the situation, ask God to just send a team of angels to clean them up too. That way they won't do it. They will be a little bit more lighter. And maybe the next day they won't be so judgmental the next time. But there's some crazy energy, some crazy stuff that I have experienced in my life. And I didn't know how to always handle it. Like saying I won't be your friend no more, like, oh, this is it, baby. End of the line. There is no more stops on this train. It's over, baby. And that's how I used to handle it. And now I know better. Now I'm like, okay. Because, after I even got away from this person, I'm like, I could forgive him. And if he comes back to me sober in a few years, all right, And he did. Actually, he got sober and he went to seminary school. And now he is a pastor of a church. but not before. He ended up being a counselor for people that were severely addicted to drugs, like heroin addicts and whatnot. And he stopped doing that because several of his clients died of a heroin overdose. And he said it was the saddest, most heart-wrenching work he ever did in his life. It was rewarding for the people that stopped the drugs, but he was like, I'm so sorry that that my addiction got in the way of our friendship. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I love you. I couldn't be around you after a while. But see, I think I could have been if I had been able to cut the cords from him, and also like from his life and from my life, and clean up that energy. So all you need to do to clean up somebody else, ask God to do the same thing, ask God to do for you. But also, then you can do a bunch of different visualizations. Again, I've mentioned some of these before. You can also, so like, the air coming through you, a wave washing over you, allowing the energy just to sink through your body down into the ground through your feet. That'd be the earth, so that's earth, air, water, fire. I would say the violet flame. Imagine that you're stepping into a giant violet flame that will never burn you, never hurt you, but it'll burn up all the dross, the junk, the icky gunk energy that might be stuck in your aura, the dust bunnies and the darts. And when you go to do the same thing for somebody else, you could do the same things I just said. One of my favorite things, though, that I've always loved is a giant God's vacuum cleaner. You've seen the dirt devils? Well, this is a dirt god. No, maybe don't call it that. What is that? The dust buster. God's dust buster. That's what I call it. I love this energy idea of a giant dust buster. It's bright, shiny white. Maybe it's rainbow colors for you. You just imagine and visualize, and it's just sucking up all the debris that has been adhered to your mental body, your emotion body, your spiritual body, your physical body, and just your auras and your chakra, and you're just suck it up. Gone. Well, that was easy. Thank you, God. Thumbs up. Finger guns. Hey, thank you, God. Finger guns to the sky. And the thing is, you could do the same thing for your friends. And you could do the same thing for your house. You could do the same thing for anybody. You see somebody that has a negative energy, a bad aura. Ask God, just clear up all the energy for them. Now, most people will gather it back unto themselves like a week later because they don't know any different. But some people will go on to actually achieve a lot more in their life because now all the debris, all the stuff that's between them and their success and their happiness is gone. You've done it. You've helped them. And the same thing for you. You've done it. You've helped yourself. And that's my 2 cents word today. Just there's so many times when people just feel put upon. If someone does cut you off in traffic, ask God to send angels to that person and clean up their aura, their chakras, their life, and lift them up. Forgive them immediately because you don't know. Maybe they're racing to get their dying brother or their wife a medicine. And they don't know what they're going to find when they get back home. You don't know what people's situation. Maybe they're just an asshole. You don't know. You really don't know. So because you don't know, imagine something terrible and that they really know what they're doing. Trust people to show you like what their reality is at all times. Someone's in a hurry, then that tells me that there's an emergency, or they're scared to be in public, or they're just in a hurry, just because they are. Maybe they have a hot Netflix and chill date later and they want to get home to it. And maybe they've got a bread in the oven and they thought they were going to be really quick, and now they ran a little late. You never know why people are in a hurry, or why they're in a rush, or why they put their crap on you. And a lot of times when people judge you for your body or your appearance or whatever, it's really nothing to do with you. I mean, maybe you look like hell, I don't know, but but sometimes what happens is people will put stuff on you because they feel bad about themselves because someone put stuff on them. So if you could have love and compassion for people about, if they're judging you, then it might just be that they're going through something themselves that they feel really bad about. And they want to feel superior to somebody else so that they can feel better about themselves, because that's the way that they know how to deal with it right now. Not everybody has the same toolbox. Not everybody has the same tools. Some people have a brand new box of 64 colored crayons, Crayola, with the pencil sharpener in the back. And some people just have a broken pencil sharpener. And they're not, the brightest crayons in the box to begin with, maybe, It's like everybody has a different set of circumstances, and a different set of beliefs, and a different set of standards, and a different set of tools, or sometimes lack thereof, right? So just send love and light. A lot of people I know have been going through a lot of crap. A friend of mine had I don't even know what it was. When she was describing it at first, I thought she had a demon in her house. For like days, like 4 or 5 days, she was terrified. She's like, I don't know what the hell to do. This thing is in my house. It was scratching her across the leg. She had claw marks. It was growling in her ear so she couldn't go to sleep at night. It would growl. She'd enter a room and this low, evil growl would happen, and she was so scared. And she kept writing me, like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, okay, I'll send you love and light. And I told her all the things to do. And she was like doing her crystal bowls. She was like doing herbs and sage and crystals. And she had like a special spray. They had like frankincense or sage or something. Like, she's doing everything she could. She's like, what the hell? I'm like, play the music for it. Play the high vibrational music. And she did, and it didn't freaking go. And she's like, what the hell am I going to do? And then she sent me a video of her phone, apparently while she was asleep or something. There was a telekinesis thing that happened. I don't know if the spirit took it or what, but started a video on her phone, and she did not take the video herself, and her phone was floating. This is the freakiest shit I've ever seen. It was floating through her kitchen, and then it floated back into her hallway, in the dark hallway, for a while. And then it floated upward, and you could see the outline, the edge of a shadow being. And then it shut off, and she woke up in the morning, and she was like freaked out. She's like, someone left took a video of my house while I was asleep. What the hell's happening? I don't know. And on the video, you can hear it was in slow motion, like time and space had slowed down, and it was like, like growling. You could hear dogs barking in the background. And at first I thought it was the dogs were in slow motion, but they were a little bit in slow motion, not a lot. And at time there was like a synchronization problem with time. It wasn't quite lining up. And then, we were like I'm like, I don't know what the hell that is. That's scary though. And I'm sending you love and light. I'm praying for her. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Ask it its name, ask it what it wants, ask it to tell you what to do. How can you, because it obviously thinks you can help it in some way. Okay. It's either there to mess with you, or it needs your help, and you're the only one that can help. Unfortunately, you're the one, right? And so she asked, what is your name? And she was scared to death. She said she was shaking. She was crying. She's like, what is your name? And it went next to her ear and whispered in a harsh, low, growly voice, Beelzebub. I can't even fucking say the name. Beelzebub. Fuck, I can't even say it. It's hilarious. I could normally say this word, now I can't say it. See, God is blocking me from saying it, so I don't conjure this being into my house, right? So anyway, I'm like, oh, well, you know what this is this is the name that most people know for one of the demons. Everybody knows this from movies and stuff. This is a person messing with you who is dead, and they're evil, and they're trapped, and they need you to help them. And the only way you're going to help them is if you tell them they're going to heaven and you're going to have the angels and Archangel Michael come, and you have to ask God to send Archangel Michael again, and have God send the angels, and you open up a portal, and Archangel Michael knows which direction to escort this gentleman. So address him not with the word he gave you, but call him Beelzebub. Takes a sting out of the name, and it's also hilarious. And she did. And after like days of chanting and playing, people chanting Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Tat Sat Om, like just like all the high vibrational things that she had Hebrew. She had her Hebrew prayers going. She had, prayers from different religions, she was freaked out. And that's something that happened. It's not very often. I've only had maybe two. One was kind of a malicious-ish person, but they might have still gone to heaven. They were just not a very good person here. But I had a person who's absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt going to hell. And they knew where they were headed, so they didn't go into the light when they first died, because they were like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to hell. And so they came to me, and I had to lie to them. But I don't know. It's not up to me. Only God can judge me, just like only God can judge you. Only God can judge other people, including the spirits that are trapped between the worlds. And so, I'm like, hey, well, I'm going to open up a portal, and, they'll probably take you to heaven, but, we'll see. Yeah, and I don't even hint at all that hell's a possibility. I'm just like, I'm going to open up a portal and have the angels come and get you. And you're going to go to the light. That's what I say. You're going to go to the light. Because I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But maybe I'm right. There are times when I'm like, woo, well, see, in 1,000 years or 1,000 centuries. It takes some people a long ass time to learn sometimes. But eventually we all learn. Eventually we all get to heaven and everything's fine. But that's something my friend is going through. People are going through weird and unique situations, but we're all going through some crap at this time. And whatever it is, giant scissors from the damn sky. Cut the crap. It's the best way I could put it, you guys. I asked higher guidance for the collective card of the day, and it's not going to be from the Everyday Witch Tarot, because that is the deck that I'm using for us to do our twin flame and soulmate romantic readings, even for those of us who are single and not in relationships. This is for all of us. We're going to read this in a romantic-ish, relationship-ish way. And we can, if you are celibate and sworn off women, and you sworn off men, and you sworn off relationships, I will try to tailor make this towards you as well, so that you can see where your part in this lies. I'm single and celibate myself right now, but I'm not sworn off anybody. I just want my twin flame. So, and he's not in my life yet, and I've decided to just wait for him. I am waiting for him. So, a lot of people I know are in that situation too. A lot of you that I have spoken to are in a similar situation, but a lot of you I've spoken to are in marriages, and you're happily married, but it's a little rough right now with the ascension stuff. So we're going to try to address these cards that I've already pulled, by the way, but we're going to try to address the cards in a way that will help you understand, or create a different and greater understanding of where you are in your relationships, in your relationship to your twin, in your relationship to your soulmate, in the relationship to yourself. But I've already pulled the cards. I'm looking at these cards, and I'm just like, there's a lot of swords in these cards. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little scary, but you know what? God said pull from the Rebel deck today, which is the Oracle with Attitude. 0 filter, 0 fucks, and all fun. It's literally what it says on the box, which is hilarious. This is a card I pulled. It was a nice card for the Rebel deck. The first part of the card, the first side of the card says, you are loved. You are loved. You are loved. Sometimes you got to say the words 3 times for them to land, right? All right, so now this is what, when you turn over the card, this is what it says. You are here for a reason. You are here for a reason. Don't fuck it up. That's what the Rebel card says. That's what the Rebel deck says. It says right here on the back too, it says, brace yourself. It says, they're always adding a little insult to the insight in this deck. And basically it says it's a rebellious, of course, foul-mouthed deck and raw. But there's a card inside that says, what does it say here? It says that pretty much the Rebel deck knows. The Rebel deck always knows what's going on with you, right? So you're not going to run. You're not going to hide. It is what it is. So the card again, it says, you are loved. You are here for a reason. Don't fuck it up. So there you go. I'm going to put that on my Instagram later. That's at mermaidgirl888. So, that it is what it is, guys. So, all right, I'm going to go to space weather news just so that we can kind of get a glimpse and glimmer into what's happening physically in our world, so we know what's going on in other ways too. Now, a few days ago, like 4 days ago, they said that the solar wind was coming from the sun towards the earth. It's hitting us about now. I don't think it's hit us yet. I'm sure later on tonight and on into tomorrow, it's going to be hitting us. So brace yourself. By the time you get this, you might have already felt the energy of it, okay? So this is what's happening right now. The solar wind speed has really, really slowed down. We're at 305 kilometers per second right now. Not very fast for the sun. I mean, way faster than I could run, but I mean, that's huge wind speed, right? 305 kilometers per second. Wow. But right now the sun is blank. There are no sunspots. It's been 18 days, by the way, without a sunspot. Now the Mars is on its way. It's going to be very close to Earth on the 6th of October, so it's coming right on up. Earth is approaching Mars, basically, for a decade-class close encounter, and it makes the red planet very, very bright. In fact, really bright. And Paolo Bardelli from Italy saw it at sunrise and a couple days ago, and he took a picture. And I'm looking at this picture going, okay, so I see the moon, I see a red cloud that looks like it might be a red noctilucent, but I don't know, crazy red. But then I blew the picture up, and oh yeah, there it is. It's a tiny little frickin' dot. It'll get closer and bigger and brighter by the time we hit October. All right, let's see. Our Oulu, Finland, has let us know that the neutron counts, basically the cosmic radiation hitting the Earth, has gone up. In fact, it's gone up by 0.6% in the past 48 hours, and it is now at 10.2%, or very high, of the space age average. So we have a lot of radiation coming in, guys. There are no significant coronal holes on the Earth's side of the sun right now. As far as the cameras over the United States, the All Sky Fireball Network and NASA's All Sky cameras, there were 25 fireballs over the United States right now. That means there were 19 sporadic, 6 were September Epsilon Perseids. Ooh, the Perseid meteor showers. I had quite forgotten about them. So there you have it. That is our space weather news. Schumann resonance today in Italy, coming out of disclosurenews.it, 61 hertz frequency. That's quite a bit bigger than yesterday, where it was 17. Remember, 40 hertz frequency is in the 5th dimension, right? I don't know why everything has been very, very low. And in Italy, it always is low, and I don't know why. It's not because of the people. It's not because of the energy there. It has nothing to do with that, so I don't want anyone to think that. But it's just the way the readings are. It's very, very odd. Now, the Schumann resonance from the HeartMath Institute, unfortunately, for the other 6 places I normally read to you guys, they're having technical difficulties with the website. It's been that way for like over a month, but they are in the middle of the wildfires in California. So I'm just going to give them love and light, send them rain, send them prayers, and let it go. My friend that I was telling you guys about, who was filled with anxiety, told me that in Northern California, where he lives, just in Butte County, by where my old town of Paradise used to be and burned down to the ground 2 years ago, this month, by the way. I think it was this month. 2 years ago. Oh my God. Or is it 3 years ago? Anyway, and then something else 5 years ago happened too. There's like a lot of anniversaries in September. September is a crazy month. From the Lion's Gate until 9/9 portal, it is a crazy time. And that is tomorrow, by the way. Another portal. It's a transformative portal. It's a good thing. Choose good over evil. You'll be fine. But he was telling me that the winds yesterday, the wind speeds were 50 miles per hour. So PG&E turned off everybody's electric. They have to, because they don't want to burn down more people's homes and be responsible for more murders, because they know it's going to happen. And sometimes they didn't turn it off, and it happened, and there you go. Bye-bye paradise. That's where I raised my kids. It's crazy. All right, there's one more. I just looked, and it was 45 minutes and 55 seconds into this part of the recording. 555, guys. There's your angel number for the day. You could look up angel numbers on an angel number app. They're free. And the one I recommend is purple and pink. I don't have it installed right now, but it is a really good app. All right, let me look and see. Now, Instagram had some cool stuff, but before we get into that, I have so much stuff to tell you guys today. All right, I'm going to tell you about Only Real UFOs is a YouTube channel that I started watching a few days ago, and I just absolutely am enthralled with it, because these are UFOs you could barely see. They're totally out of focus, like normal, because if you see a UFO, you're shaking in your boots just a little bit, right? Even if you expect the Pleiadians to be there, it's a little bit like, there they are. Oh my God, holy crap. You don't want the perfectly framed shots where the UFO's like 2 feet away and, the beings are waving at you, because those are CGI. None of that is real right now. It's going to happen. I'm sure it's going to happen soon, but it's not happening this week. But what is happening in the past 7 days, I want to let you guys know. So, here we go. We'll start with a week ago. There was a tic-tac shaped UFO over Pouso Alegre in Brazil. There was a fleet of UFOs, and this, of course, means unidentified flying objects, and it looks like the Pleiadians. Now, they have promised us, through me and through other channels, that they are definitely Ashtar Shirhan, or Ashtar Command. He has said, we are going to show ourselves all over the world. Well, the Pentagon has no choice anymore, because it has nothing to do with the Pentagon or any world governments. The Pleiadians come from a different level, and they mean no harm. They just want to show us that they love us. They're here. They are our space brothers, that they have not forgotten us, but we have forgotten them, and now they're coming back. In old Cherokee legends and legends from all over the world, this was predicted at the end of the world, as we know it. They're coming, and so here they are. They're coming back. And so a fleet of UFOs were seen over Los Angeles. And I mean, this looks like a whole, like 20 of them a week ago. You could go check these out at Only Real UFOs on YouTube.com, of course. That's the channel, though, is Only Real UFOs. And it's just only with the space, real with the space, and then UFOs without an apostrophe. And that's it. It's amazing. So something strange happened in the Florida sky. They said there was a UFO there. And a tic-tac UFO was seen over Cleveland, Ohio. and it had a weird force field around it. That one I haven't seen yet. That happened about a week ago. Okay. 2 UFOs over Lost Creek Wilderness in Bailey, Colorado. 2 were seen, and there's footage of all of these here on this channel. 1 UFO was filmed from an aircraft over Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So that's pretty interesting. Then there was another Tic Tac UFO again over Newport News, Virginia. Okay. And so it's happening all over the United States now. You know, it's speeding up. It's picking up, baby. I'm pretty sure they're coming. They're going to land one of these days, and it's going to be wonderful. Scary as shit at first, but then after, quite wonderful, I'm assuming. A UFO did fly past a plane in Siberia, Russia, and there's footage. UFOs were also filmed over Rio del Mar Beach, California, again with a fleet of Pleiadian ships. And there was another fleet of UFOs over the Bronx in New York. And the footage is really hard to see until they blow it up, and then you're like, oh my God, there was like 20 of them. 20 UFOs over Bronx, New York, and UFOs were also filmed over Lake Michigan. And that was a pretty interesting one. There's like 7 in a line, or 6 in a line, and then a 7th one came over. It's very, very interesting. Now, this one freaked me out, guys. There was a UFO, and this is the one, they just uploaded this from 9 hours ago. A UFO was spotted while filming the moon. It went across the moon in like just a couple seconds, like less than 5 seconds flat. Boom. Really big, really like bulky looking UFO. It's black, whereas all the UFOs over the US, or over the US and Russia and all over the world that are near us, they're lights. They're like bright white or kind of a pale, like, or off-white, like a vanilla white, you know, kind of color, right? Like cream color. And the ones over Lake Michigan were a little bit pink white. But across the moon is this big, black, scary-looking UFO. It went from one edge of the moon to the other in just a couple seconds. I mean, think about how fast that thing must have been traveling. But this guy was filming from Slovenia, from Ljubljana. And I mean, it's worth seeing it, guys. The only real UFOs, I'm telling you, it's a really good site if you're interested in seeing UFOs, you're interested in knowing what's going on in the world. I mean, you could say that you feel weird, you have all these strange symptoms, you think something's happening, maybe you're channeling beings from another planet or another dimension or another world, and maybe you're speaking light language, but until you know about the physical stuff happening, you kind of feel like you're absolutely out of your freaking mind, but you're not. You're not. I mean, I've had a lot of beings showing up around me in the past year and a half. And at first it was freaking me out. No, I woke up speaking light language one day. I'm like, what the hell is happening to me? I couldn't speak in English for a while, like 30 minutes. I'm like, what? And why am I speaking anyway? I'm alone in my room, you know? So these things are happening, and it's real. And when you realize it's happening to thousands and thousands of people around the world, and then you see the UFOs, you know, I mean, when they tell you through me, we're going to be over the world, and then you don't see it in the real world, it's like, well, maybe she's crazy, right? Go to this website. It proves I'm not crazy. I love that proves I'm not crazy. You know, and for a while, you know, before the problem with the website, I mean, we were getting numbers close to 700 hertz frequency coming off of Heart Mouth Institute. I mean, when the fifth dimension starts at 40 hertz frequency, and we're getting numbers in the 100, 200, 300s, 500s, 600s hertz frequency, something is happening, and the science is backing it up. That's what metaphysical soul speak is all about. Metaphysical to me means where spirituality and science meet in the frickin' middle. And that's what meta to me means, meta. You know, like, so we're going to always talk about it this way. Like, hey, guys, check it out, you know? So it is what it is. Those are the crazy things. Let me see how much time we got. And let's see. Okay, yeah, we got a couple minutes, so I'm going to tell you some of the things that were Oh gosh, we have so much to get through. There's a lot of stuff. Okay, there's a lot of things I've saved on Instagram, guys, that just, like ascension symptoms, as well as stuff going on in Twin Flames. But it's a Twin Flame night, so we're going to go over the Twin Flame stuff first, okay? Looking for the post. All right, this was from Divine Tarot, Taro, and she had a quick little post. This was from a couple days ago. This is a message from your significant other, from the 5D, from the fifth dimensional. It's like a telepathic message, and if you're not quite telepathic with your other yet, these cards help. And so the cards that she's picked, I don't know what deck it is. It's beautiful though. You're the reason I see life differently. I woke up today thinking about you. I hope I haven't lost you. That might resonate with some of you, and if it doesn't apply, let it fly. And then I woke up thinking about you today. I had a dream of you last night. You made me believe in unconditional love. So even if you haven't met your person, they might be thinking about you and feeling your energy if you are a twin flame. So that was something that struck my heart. I felt like some of those cards, I think my person might be telling me those things. So I'm not going to read the next thing from her because we have others to contend with. All right, where are we? Seriously, there was a lot of symptoms that people posted that were absolutely right. Okay, this is something I'm like looking at this like, oh, that's not one. All right, here we go. Yeah, oh, duh, I saved it. I'm sorry, guys. I saved it under the Twin Flames folder. I'm like, how come I'm not finding the Twin Flames one? And there's a whole bunch that I had saved under the other thing. Okay. So this one, message for the first wave feminines. This message is for feminines who are in no communication with their masculines as of now, awakened and ascended masculines. Your masculines are healing deep past life trauma right now. They are keeping you away to protect you from the emotional upheaval that is currently going on in their lives. Your masculine will communicate when this heavy emotional wave has passed. This is his way of keeping you safe from his purging. Now, this is from Star Blossom India. I love her channel and I love her channels. I love when she gets these messages. So she does readings and light language healing and twin flame guidance and healing sessions. I do all that stuff too, but I think she does a lot more twin flame guidance than I do. I will start maybe later. There was another set of cards I got that this is a while ago, like 6 days ago, but I wanted to bring it up because it felt true when I read it. And it says, the best is yet to come. I'm closer than you think. I'll make it up to you, baby. See, my guy told me he was going to write me and contact me for the first time on my birthday, and then he didn't. He telepathed to me that he's going to make it up to me. So I'm like, oh my God. Then I read these cards. I'm like, oh my God. So here's some more. In your heart, I am always there. I feel your energy day and night. And then the last one is see only love. So if it's true, you know what to do. And if it doesn't apply, baby, let it fly. There was a love letter that I saw. What was this one? Let me see how many minutes we have on this. There was a lot of these. I only have a minute left. From from the divine masculine to the divine feminine was, I just cannot explain what I'm feeling right now, so please understand. So if your guy's not contacting you, ladies, or men, because, this is not a binary thing. It doesn't have to be heteronormative, okay? I mean, if you're, a gay couple that haven't met yet, one of you is the feminine embodiment and one of you is the masculine embodiment. So I don't mean heteronormative binary, by the way, but just hearing the sound of your voice does things to me, and I need you to keep going no matter how hard it gets. I promise you that I will catch up. So those are just some of the messages, and that's it. I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, we're going to read the tarot for the twin flames, soulmates, and, everybody, right after this message. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's high time you did. It is the absolute easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's absolutely free. Second of all, they have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. You guys have known that I've been doing this for 8 months using the Anchor.fm app right on my cell phone, and I have done it everywhere, right? I have recorded this in my living room, my bedroom, little cafes in Quito, Ecuador, all over Cuenca. It's so absolutely easy to make your podcast, and editing is just a snap. Anchor also will distribute your podcast for you, and it took me about 2.5 months to become syndicated, and now I'm available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more, and so can you. You can make money from your podcast also, and there's no minimum requirement. You get paid from your very first listener. It is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So please, if you are interested in making a podcast of your very own, do not hesitate to start with Anchor. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. All right, guys, I know everybody loves ASMR, so hence the Tarot Tuesday shuffle. Okay, so I already asked God to have an angel come and help us. Today, Archangel Michael was the one to pluck the cards out. I'll say this card is for, and I'll tell you, the first card is for us now, the present moment, us in the present moment. And I'll just say the collective, the spiritually awakened and awakening collective in the present moment. And I'll just say those words over and over and over again as I shuffle, and Archangel Michael will pull out the card that is the most accurate for us right now. And then when I'm done with that, and I got the card, I ask, is this the card? And I use muscle testing and kinesiology, and Archangel Michael will say yes or no, and if it's yes, then yay, we keep the card. But I also double check with God, is this a card you wanted us to have? So that's how I do the tarot. I used to shuffle. When it felt right intuitively, I would cut the deck, and I'd cut it where it felt intuitive right, and then I would do the whole thing, and then from the top of the deck I would draw the next 10 cards. And while that is very accurate, can be very accurate, I find that I just really like the connection and interaction with divine, and with the mediator being the archangel, who is not incarnate in a body. He is, a messenger for God at this point. And always it's nice to be surrounded by angels when we do tarot cards, right? So the deck I'm using is the Everyday Witch Tarot, which is an adorable deck. It's really, really cute, actually. I mean, like, a lot of the witches will have, like, their witches' hats and ribbons streaming from the hat. Sometimes their hair is purple and their stockings are white and red like candy canes. It's so cute. Like, they all have striped socks. I don't know, it's really cute. Not in every card, but in a lot of cats, and I love cats. So my first deck I ever had, well, we won't talk about the first deck, but the second deck that I purchased myself, that was my own deck for, like 30 years, was the Tarot of the Cat People. And I was feeling like I was outgrowing it a little bit, even though I like the deck. It was kind of a darker deck, and this one's a lot lighter. And for a long time, for my readings, I was using the Andean deck, which is very bright primary colors, which it's a weird and trippy deck, but I just really, when I saw pictures of this, and I did research on it before I bought it, and I saw a lot of the cards, and I just thought, these are my colors. This is the deck for me. So everybody is different, but this is one I picked. So anyway, I've already laid it out. I'm doing the Celtic Cross spread, which is 10 cards, and I'm going to tell you what they all mean in the event that you're not familiar with this spread. So I just don't want to be like, in the first position, and then you're supposed to know what that means, right? So we're going to go over it pretty quickly, but yet slow enough where you're going to catch what everything means. So I did this whole thing with the idea of romantic relationships in mind, but also to include people that are not involved, people who are purposely celibate, or celibate not by choice, but wanting to purify for your twin, for people who are in union as twin flames and who are waiting for union still as twin flames, as well as people that are married maybe to a soulmate, like a best friend that isn't a twin. So I included everybody in this, but I kept it with relationships in mind, whether it's relating to another or relating to yourself. And again, it's definitely non-binary, non-heteronormative. When I say twin flames, that could be two women, it could be two men, it could be two trans people in union. It doesn't matter the outer shell. To me, it's the feminine energy versus the masculine energy. And I mean, for me, I feel like I have both. I'm in the community, I'm bisexual. Also, I have a feeling that my twin is also bisexual, and also balances the male-female energy, so I'm a little bit more feminine, and sometimes I feel a little bit more masculine. I don't know, it just depends on the day. But so when I start talking about these things, I want you to know that no matter where you are on any of the spectrums or any of the gender fluidity thing, you're totally included. So include yourself in the conversation. When you hear me talk, I don't want you to hear me say one thing and go, oh, it's totally not me, because you know what? It actually might be you. All right, so here we go. The first position in the Celtic Cross stands for where we are at right now in this present moment. And so where we are at right now is the Page of Swords, and shows a young witch, a non-gender specific witch, actually, which is pretty cool. And this person is standing very solidly on the ground, and a cat is paying attention to this lifted sword that this person is raising. above their head, and it's pretty cool card. So we're going to go ahead and read what the description of this card is from the Everyday Witch app, which is so bitchin'. I can't believe for $1.99 I got this app. It's so worth it. Okay, so this is where we're at now, our present moment. Are you impulsive or intuitive? You decide. Page of Swords is, I don't know. I don't need to know where I am going to get there. So it's kind of a determination, but using your intuition to get where you're going to, we're going to feel our way to where we are. If you're already in a relationship, you know where you're headed, or you're going to intuitively feel your way through it, right? So, okay, let me get my glasses, my handy dandy cheaters on. Look at this young witch ready to hit the road in search of a new idea or a daring adventure. Youth. It doesn't really matter. If he is prepared, he's going anyway, and that's okay. After all, everyone has to start somewhere. No doubt he'll learn a lot on the journey. The only question is, will he learn it the hard way or the easy way? No one really knows until they try. Okay, well, I stand corrected. I guess it's a he. Honestly, the way that they drew this, for me, it was really undeterminable, which I like. It was cool because you can throw your own personal spin on the card, the way that you feel, because these are cards that are reflecting you, usually when you read them. So, all right, well, there you go. It's a he. And I love the fact that they call he a witch and not a warlock or a wizard, because he's or she's or theys can be witches. So I thought that was kind of cool too. All right, things to consider with the position, and keep in mind where you're at relationship-wise. The pages often represent a younger person or a child or somebody for whom you feel responsible. But as we know, everyone is young at heart. So no matter what age you are, this card also can be you. This could represent you if you're following an idea or beginning on the path to a new goal. The Page of Swords does indicate a mix of enthusiasm and uncertainty, coupled with determination to pursue the journey to its end, no matter where it leads. So just be sure that you're not following an idea just because it appeals to you, or on an intellectual or rather than emotional level, but isn't really based in fact or practicality. So there is such a thing as being too smart for your own good. So I think that we should follow our intuition and understand that it's okay to pursue our journey to its end, no matter where it leads, but keep an open mind no matter what. So if you are already in a relationship, maybe you're going to start something new together. And maybe what you're starting new, if you're single like me, is that I'm getting ready to meet my twin, hopefully. I think it's up to him, but I think it's really up to a lot of the crap that's going on in the world. Cut the crap, remember? I really feel like, we're going to get there. We're all going to get where we need to be. All right, so the next card is, I don't want to spend too much time on each card because it's going to take forever. The next card is again a swords. My God, we have so many swords in this reading. That was the first thing after I got the cards laid out and I looked at it, because we have this sword, and the next card I'm about to read to you is a sword. We have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 cards that say the word swords on them. And then later we have the magician card, which has a sword in the picture, and the death card that has a sword in a picture. So pictures of swords, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards out of the 10. 60% of this reading has swords in it. So it's going to be still a rough next, at least next 3 weeks. right, so, in the 3-month and 6-month position, we don't have any swords, so I think we get over it in the next 3 weeks. But I want you to keep this in mind. Okay, so what is crossing us? Well, we know where our position is. We're getting ready to start a new adventure, and we might be wrong about what we think we know, but we're going to intuit our way through it. Now, what is crossing us at this time is the 4 of Swords. Now, 4 can relate to the divine masculine. Why? Because 4 is the Emperor card. So it does kind of make me think, 4 always makes me think of the Emperor. He is busy looking over his domain, but if this is what's crossing us, it's possibly he's still doing some stuff with his domain, preparing the kingdom for the queen to arrive. And again, this could be any gender. I'm just talking about the energy masculine, okay? So now 4 of Swords, let's go ahead and read what this one means. This is a really beautiful card. So it appears as if a witch is sleeping. She has her broom next to her side. Cobwebs are everywhere because she's been kind of in stasis for a while. And her handy dandy black cat familiar is cuddling at her side, which is very, very sweet. So this is what this card says. To sleep, perchance to dream. Of course, we're going to have a quote from Shakespeare, right? 4 of Swords. Are you resting? Or are you retreating? We all need to pull back from the world from time to time and take a break, catch our breath, and regroup. The trick is to know the difference between the lack of movement that's positive and beneficial and the lack of movement that means we're stuck in a state of suspended animation. So these are the questions to consider. Now remember to keep in mind your relationship status, no matter if you're in one or, you know what I mean, if you're waiting for the twin, you just got together with the twin, you just met her or him or them, you just, you're in a marriage with your soulmate, no matter what your situation, think about this in terms of your relationship. So are you sleeping and relaxing? Are you stuck in a rut? Are you taking a break? Are you taking space? Keep those in mind. Now, the things to consider according to the Everyday Witches Tarot Guide. Depending on where this card falls in a reading, it may be a suggestion that you need to rest and refresh your spirit, giving yourself the time and space to renew your body, mind, and spirit. Now, alternately, it may indicate that you're stuck in a rut, spinning your wheels, whether you should be taking action. Are you tired and overwhelmed? Are you running away from making the tough choices or taking decisive action that you know is needed? Is there someone in your life who's holding you back or whose lack of action has a negative effect on your current circumstances? This card indicates that they are stuck and they're probably not going to change. So do you need a rest or do you need a wake-up call? Well, think about where you're at, and only you can answer this question for yourself. So we're getting ready to embark upon a brand new journey, a brand new adventure, a quest. But what's stopping us is we might be sleeping a little bit, being a little bit too comfortable, being a little bit stuck in a rut. We might be forced to rest because of the COVID-19 pandemic, which isn't part of the description of the card, but you and I both know that's possible, that's what's going on. But also, maybe we're just using that as an excuse not to move forward. So you got to ask yourself, are you resting or retreating in this relationship dance? All right, so what is our foundation of the whole situation? That's the next card. What is, and what we got down here for our foundation is a major league card, baby. This is a major arcana, and we got 17, the star. Now, I've seen the number 17 and 71 over and over and over and over again this week. So this is also, here we go, very telling. Even in the UFO videos, in one of them, I counted 17 different Pleiadian light ships in the video. So 17 is a very big number right now, as is 7, and 71 to a lesser degree. And then also, the 4s, the double 4s, double 3s, double 7s, and triple of all those as well as 555, 222. I don't know if you've been seeing that, but that just means we're on our path. We're on the right way. Get angel numbers out to see what they all mean. But the star, now this is a beautiful woman. She is standing in a stream, and she is transmuting energy from heaven down into the earth. Oh my God, is this not what we are all doing right now during this ascension? We are taking in the cosmic energy, transforming it with our bodies, and putting it back into the earth, which will heal everybody and everything, including Mother Earth Gaia herself. That is our current foundation. Oh my God, it gives me the absolute chills. So we're going to go and read what the description of the card says. It's absolutely beautiful picture. Now, this is remember what our foundation is, where we're standing on, and relate it in your mind to your relationship, what's going on with your romantic world, okay? We are the light of the stars. The cosmos is also within us. We are made of star stuff. Oh, they actually put the Carl Sagan quote. I'm gonna cry. Oh, it just makes me so happy. The person who I learned astronomy from took, he got his degree literally from Carl Sagan. And Carl Sagan and him did not get along, and he gave out his personal phone number. My friend called him and talked to Carl Sagan, forgetting the hours difference because he was on New York time, and she called him at 3 a.m. accidentally. Oopsies. That was my friend Amber, and she just started in on him. How could you not believe in astrology? And he's like, who the hell is this? She's like, this is Amber. This is Carl, right? And he's like, yeah. And then they had a conversation, and she was like, yeah, I kind of pissed him off because I woke him up, but boy, greatest moment of my life. Oh my God, Amber, I love her. God rest her soul. She just passed last August. It just broke my heart right before my birthday too, last year. It just feels so new and raw. She was my best friend since I was 20, maybe 19 actually. I think I met her when I was 19. And so when I was 50, she died. So that's how long we knew each other. 31 years we were friends. All right, so anyway, the star card, this is our foundation, guys. A witch with flowing silver hair, so in style, with a long silver gown, stands under a dark sky filled with stars. She wears a circlet made of glowing stars, which also covers her dress. One hand is raised towards the sky, palm open, and light will flow down from the sky into her palm. And by the way, it's rainbow energy light. Oh my God. Exactly what's going on with us right now. The other hand points to the ground, palm down, with the same multicolored light flowing out into a pool of water by her feet. Actually, it looks like her feet are in the pool of water, and there's a little fish looking up at her. And then her familiar cat is staring at the fish. It's a super adorable card. The water is blue, but it turns colors when the light joins with it. Here's a guiding light in the dark, hope and tranquility, peace amid the chaos. This is our foundation. I mean, I want you guys to feel the peace of this. Wow, everything is going to be okay as far as our relationship stuff is concerned. She will help lead you to a place of balance that will cleanse your spirit, and if you're fortunate, perhaps she'll grant you a wish. The stars have long been a sight that lifts up our hearts. Is there anything more beautiful than that of the bright spot of light in a dark sky? The star is one of those rare cards that has absolutely no negative interpretations. And that's our foundation, guys. Oh my God, so exciting. If she shows up in your reading, accept her gifts with gratitude and appreciation. So the things to consider with this card, the star brings with it balance and hope, and a reminder that we have a spark of the divine inside us. As Carl Sagan said, we're all made of star stuff. Oh, just every time. Oh, that quote. That was Amber's favorite quote. Okay. As Carl Sagan said, okay, I already said that, damn it. So while the star promises us that we will find what we seek, it also reminds us to look within as well as without for the answers, and to let our lights shine out into the world to illuminate the paths of others. Well, it kind of goes along with what I said in the beginning, right? Okay. That's our foundation. Now, the next card is what have we left behind us? Oh my God, we have another major arcana, and this is awesome. It is card number 20, Judgment. Woo! That's a big freaking hurdle we just got over, guys. We stopped judging others. We stopped judging our romantic love. We stopped judging ourselves. We stopped judging our bank accounts and our bodies. And that was a big, massive, for the divine feminine especially, that was a massive move forward to just say, I accept myself. I accept that I'm not rich, or I accept that I am rich, but my body has gone a little bit to the wayside. I accept my responsibility, and I accept my body the way it is. Accept my bank account the way it is. I accept my relationship status the way it is. I accept my life and everything in it the way it is. And through that acceptance, we have been able to let go of judgment. And that's an incredible thing. Now, this picture is also very cute. There's a witch playing a flute and dancing to the music as she walks down a dirt path out in middle nature, and all the music is free flowing away from her flute, and there's a little butterfly on the path, and her familiar, of course, is playing with the butterfly. Super cute card. All right, so the quote for this card is, "Here we go again." Judgment. Where has your path led you, and where will it lead you now? Well, this is where a path has led to us to this point, where we're now on a new adventure and a new quest, because we have let go of the judgment. So what it says here, oops, now I just, somehow I just stopped the card from showing me what it says. Darn it. All right, let me see how much time we got. I want to make sure. All right. I got to speed it up a little. All right. A witch in a black hat dances merrily down a path while playing a recorder and wearing a short black tunic that shows off her striped stockings. A black kitten bounces in her wake, chasing a butterfly that flits amongst the musical notes. A shining light beckons from the direction they are headed, and the mood is that of anticipation. Now, this is what's behind us, but that's what has led us here. The Judgment card is often perceived as something ominous due to the traditional picture that normally features naked dead people being summoned by the angel Gabriel's trumpet. Oh, what isn't clear is that this call is less about being judged by someone else and more about taking a look at your own life and finding it unsatisfactory. Our witch on the card is following some music that she can hear, only she can hear, playing along as she moves happily down the path towards rebirth, renewal, and letting go. Remember, this is what we've already done. Okay? It's great news. She is light of heart and feet because she has put down old grudges and hurts that were dragging her down. There is joy and finally heeding the call to the life you are meant to be living. Things to consider. And we're going to put this in the past tense because this is what we just finished. Were you following your own music or dancing to somebody else's tune? The Judgment card reminds us to listen to our own inner wisdom, which apparently we did because we're here now. It can also be a suggestion that we're judging ourselves too harshly or taking others' judgment of us to heart. If this card shows up in your reading, it's an indication that it's time to let go of the old and embrace the new. Rebirth and renewal await if you're willing to go down the path that will take you right to them. So basically that's what we've already done. Thank God, right? So, or thank Goddess, whatever you want to say. But all right, now what is the message from our higher self and what is above us? Oh, this is the lovely card of death, number 13 in the deck. Gotta love it. 13 is the number of Jesus and his coven of disciples. 12 disciples and Jesus, that equals 13. Did you not ever know that? Think about that. 13 is a death card. 13 means death. And there's a giant death story in that story. But also a typical witch's coven contains 13 people. The lead witch and then the 12 witches that show up to her clearing in the forest, right? Okay, so, all right, the death card means transformation and change, and there is a beautiful path of light where the door is open and we could go through it and be fully transformed. That is a message from our higher self, that our past has now been sealed off. Everything that no longer serves is gonzo, baby. It's gone. That's good news. And in this picture, there's a cat holding a mouse down with its paw. Inevitable death is going to loom for the rodent, but it will sustain the life of the cat. So, cycle of life, baby. All right. So let's see here. Card 13. Honestly, is it kind of an ominous card for this deck, even though it's kind of cool. But I like it, being the angel of death myself. I am Archangel Azrael, so I'm like, oh, what my higher self is telling me, maybe a little bit different than what yours is telling you, but overall, this is what it means. All things must end sometime. Death. When one door closes, another opens. And by the way, it's not a window opening. When God closes a door, he opens a window. When God closes a door this time, he's opening another door. And it's a door to adventure. Because remember the Page of Swords. So there we go. We're done a judgment. We're standing on this foundation of star stuff. And now a brand new life is beginning. And a brand new adventure awaits us. So that's excellent. So things to consider with this card. I'm not going to read the description. I read it last week when we got this card. But the death card does not seem like it's the bringer of good news, but it also rarely comes as a surprise. You already know that something was ending and, well, of course, something new is beginning. So hopefully you've caught a glimpse of whatever the new thing is that's going to take place. Now, if you're single, and we're putting this in the confines of a relationship, what's ending? Your singlehood. You're probably going to find somebody, your twin flame or your soulmate, or maybe somebody new that can be kind of a romantic interest, right? And for me, I'm hoping that means my twin. And if you're in a marriage, what would be ending? What would the death? Does it mean your marriage is ending? No. It means that this chapter of your life in your marriage is ending. Maybe you're going to be pregnant. If you're a woman and you and your husband have been childless thus far, maybe you're going to start a family. So what's going to end? Well, your sleep cycle, basically. Having had 2 children myself, I know about that. Love it. Would do it all over again in spite of difficulties. I would do it all over again. But so whatever it is, I mean, it might just be that maybe you and your husband and your family are getting ready to enter a new phase. Maybe a new phase of prosperity. Maybe a new phase of I mean, a new place to live. Maybe you're going to have money for a vacation finally this year, or something is about to happen that everything is going to be like completely new and refreshed. So it says it's okay to take time to mourn your loss if there are any losses. I know one of you who just finished through a divorce. It's okay to mourn that loss and take as much time as you need. Just don't make the mistake of hanging on to something that's already dead. I mean, don't beat a dead horse, right? It's dead, let it go, it says here. And when you're done mourning, just know that you're going to be able to find the open door that has taken the place of the one that just closed. And on the other side of it is a golden, shiny light, guys. So what is ahead of us in the next 2 to 3 weeks? Well, this is a pretty exciting one. I like this card. Okay, it's another swords, I'm sorry. I tried to build it up and now I'm just like, no. Another sword. It's just another swords. It's the 6 of Swords. And, okay, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, it says any place but here. I think we could all pretty much relate to that, having myself been stuck for 7 whole months in quarantine in the house. During the quarantine, I actually moved to a new place. And it was like ridiculous. It took me 5 days to move 1 truck full of stuff. Because you can't find a truck on Saturday and Sunday here in Ecuador when there's a complete lockdown. I mean, we've been locked down for 7 long-ass months. So, yeah, anywhere but here. Like, I love my new place. I love it. But I do love the idea of getting in a taxi, going downtown and seeing people I know, hugging them, even if we have to wear a mask. Like, it's going to feel amazing to eat in a restaurant again. Do you guys remember eating out? It was so fun, right? I don't even mind socially distancing at a Spanish language movie at this point. If I can eat popcorn and watch a movie somewhere other than on my little tiny tablet, that would be freaking fantastic. But anyway, so in the next 2 to 3 weeks within our relationships, this is what this card means. This is what is just ahead of us on our path. 6 of Swords. Sometimes you just have to get gone. Do not take your troubles with you. It says try not to. Take your troubles with you. Yeah, exactly. We're on a new adventure. We're going, baby. We're going. The Page of Swords told us. And the 4 of Swords said, hey, you know what? You need to rest sometimes. But when you're done resting, boy, we're on this adventure right now. And the 6 of Swords, it's time. I'm gone, baby. Gone. This witch is not going to spend 1 more minute where she is. She's already on her way with only a few necessities because time is of the essence. Sometimes it's better to get out with nothing than to hang on to things or people that are weighing you down. But she's not traveling alone. It's not clear if she's helping her traveling companions or if they're helping her. But either way, they're in it together. And you know what? You guys, where are we all headed together right now? 5th dimension, higher up those rungs. We're already in the 5th dimension, but now we're going up higher and even higher still. And the fact is, this is 6. Oh my God, what if we're going into the 6th dimension? Choir of angels. All right, so check it out. An arcane gesture to summon the wind, and they're off into an unknown future. And all she knows is that any place will be better than whatever it is that she's leaving behind. Yeah, fuck off, 3rd dimension. Bye. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. I'm done. I'm so done with 3D polarity BS, aren't you? It was good though. We learned a lot, right? We learned a lot, and let's just get the flock out of Dodge, right? Things to consider. Sometimes there's situations that you just simply can't fix. Unhealthy relationships, jobs that beat you down. A lot of you have moved A lot of you have left jobs you didn't like, found better jobs. I've talked to a lot of people that listen to the show, and this is absolutely, I'm laughing inside because it's like, I know where you're headed. I know where you're headed, and you know who you are. Yeah, I mean, sometimes just, things that are dangerous or unproductive circumstances, if you're dealing with one of these, you just have to ask yourself, is it time to cut your losses and just get the hell out? And there's no shame in thinking that you need to ask for help to do so. And if you need to, just, maybe someone else needs your help to escape their own bad situation. It's okay to lend a hand as long as you are sure you're not going to end up carrying burdens that don't belong to you, which kind of relates to that giant scissors coming down from the sky and snip, snip, snip. Kind of crap, right? All right, so speaking of cutting, that was another sword. So the next card, it's a swords too. And it's the last one that says the word swords on it, but the next card still has a sword in the picture. A lot of swords, baby. Life is a double-edged sword. I can't even speak that word anymore. Edged. That's a hard word to say. Okay, so here we are. The next card is, how do we see ourselves in this relationship, or in our singlehood, or in this, wherever we are at within the confines of the romantic-ish relationship, or non. Where do we find ourselves? Well, we're at the Five of Swords. Again, Five of Swords. And we had this card this week too, so here we go. Be careful what you wish for. Oh, God. This is how we view ourselves. And we're saying, just because you get what you want doesn't mean you're going to be happy that you got it. Sometimes sharing is better than winning. Yeah, Five of Swords. 5 is a number of balance, actually, which I like. But, yay, I get all the swords. That's what one of the witches is saying. And the other two aren't so happy. So maybe you're really happy in one part of your life, and two other parts of your life you're kind of, I don't know. Maybe the part that you're happy, part of your life you're happy in, is the relationship part, or where it's headed. Maybe another part is kind of worried about finances, and then the third part is like, but no, what am I going to do with my career? Or whatever, only you know the three parts of yourself, but that you're battling or whatever. But so you have to see, let's see. At best, there's a lack of trust in the future. At worst, her friends will never work with her again. Was it worth it? Somewhere down the road, she might be wishing she had played a little nicer. Well, yeah, I think we can all. And by the way, we've all been very testy lately. Have you noticed with the new ascension symptoms, we are testy AF, for real. People are just snap judgments, just being really snippety with each other. Just give yourself a break, but also ask for forgiveness later, and give forgiveness to other people who were snippety with you, because we're all going through a big freaking change right now. So, Five of Swords, there's things to consider as far as how you're viewing yourself right now. Life is a lot easier when people work together instead of always trying to win, including arguments, or be the best. The Five of Swords does remind us that the cost of being obsessed with coming out on top. And it warns us that there might be those around us who aren't really looking out for our best interests. Are you playing nice? That's how you're seeing yourself. Are you wondering if you're playing nice? Do you see yourself always trying to win and not really considering others, or where are you at with that? This card kind of confused me as far as this, but might be where we're looking at ourselves right now. We're wondering, could we have played nicer? Could we have been better? And if this is our battle inside ourselves, in what areas can you be nicer to yourself? You're going to have to live with yourself later. So, now how do other people see us? And this is one of my favorite cards. how do other people see us? How do the sleeping ones, the unawakened, they're not spiritual yet, but they will be. How are the unawakened ones viewing us as the spiritually awakening ones? They're probably looking at us in awe, right? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, they are, because the card in that position, another major arcana, which is also very good news. And this is the Magician, one of the best cards in the deck right here. And again, another cat. And there's a sword on the table. There's so many swords in this reading. So remember how we're made of star stuff, according to the star, and according to the death card, which is the other major arcana, that we are going through a transformation. We're made of star stuff, and now check it out. We are the Magician, and that is how we are being viewed by the sleeping, unawakened ones. That is an incredible card to be in this position. The magic is inside you. What? You have all the tools you need to accomplish your goals. You do, and I do too. On an altar are 4 silver tools: an athame, which is like a sword, right? A wand, a chalice, and a pentacle coin, which means money. They glow with a golden light, and a black cat is perched on one corner, sitting upright and basked-like, knowing that whatever it is, well, the cats know. Behind the altar table stands an androgynous figure. Remember what I was telling you? I love this deck. It says androgynous. It's like, yes, non-binary, non-heteronormative. We don't know if this is a man or a woman, and it honestly isn't any of our damn business. It doesn't matter, because this person is trans, as in transformation. This person is absolutely in a state of perfect balance. Okay, so here we go. An androgynous figure with a dark shoulder-length hair held back by a silver circlet with a crescent moon in the middle. The figure wears rich and ornate flowing robes. A matching golden glow surrounds the figure and is strongest at their head, heart, and hands. Their arms are raised into the air, and swirls of power flow into the hands. Who is this mysterious figure, and what does he or she represent? Magic, of course. Not the kind of magic that a stage magician does. Oh, no. Never. All sleight of hand and tricks? No. The magician holds true magic within. This is the ability to do what is necessary, to be wise, to be kind, and to find success at the end of every endeavor. The magician represents our own capacity to balance all the tools of the 4 suits: the cups, the wands, the swords, and the pentacles. That's all the elements of our life. And to use them to create positive change in the world. Now, who wouldn't want that kind of magic, right? And again, it's talking about creating that change is also about the balance. The star is about balance. That's about balance. We've heard the word balance quite a bit. Dark and light, death to the old, rebirth to the new. Balance. It's all very good. I like this. It's a good reading, actually. The fact that we have swords is crazy, because swords usually are not a very happy suit. But these cards have not turned out to be terrible. Just saying. All right, so things to consider with the Magician. This card is powerful and it's positive. This is how people are viewing us in our relationships. We are transforming things left and right. And if you are a twin flame and you're in union with your twin flame right now, you guys are balanced as fuck right now. And if you are like me, I'm trying to meet my guy, I am balancing myself and I'm creating magic all around me. And I'm working on all the areas of my life, not just the one. And I'm hoping that will draw him to me. I'm hoping I'm balancing him as I'm balancing myself. And other people are seeing me do that. Everyone is seeing you do that. And if you're single and you don't want and don't have a twin waiting and you are single, you plan to stay that way, you're balancing all the areas of your life, and people are seeing that your relationship with yourself is magical at this moment. So this is the powerful questions. Okay. If you've asked, can I do this or will I succeed lately? Yeah, you bet. The magician appearing will almost certainly mean that your answer is a resounding yes. Keep in mind, this card is about personal power and your individual ability. So whatever you're dealing with, you have to rely on yourself to triumph in the end. And that's what people are watching you do this on your own. You are calling in your personal power, your goddess within, your God within, your divine masculine, your divine feminine at this moment. Okay, so you have all the tools you need to succeed. So if this is in a position that means someone other than you, which it's not, by the way, this means that you have a strong ally in your corner who can also work a little magic on your behalf. But this is how other people are viewing us, so this is good. All right, now the next card is our hopes versus our fears, as well as what's going to take place in the next 3 months. Ooh, this is a really good one, guys. Let me look at it here. Okay, I got this in a reading that I did for myself recently. This is a very good card. The 3 of Pentacles. Pentacles always mean money, 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 money. So that's good. Abundance, and that comes in all of its different forms, not just money. Abundance and wealth of friends, wealth of love in this case, because this is a love reading. So it's good. It means working on a project. Working together, we can create something wonderful, is what the app says. 3 of Pentacles, many hands make light work. As long as you share a common purpose and a vision and everyone plays nice. Well, I agree with that, don't you? All right. So the witches are coming together and they're making a project together. Something greater than they could have done by themselves. So in the next 3 months, you're going to do something with, well, yourself or with your loved one. When you hit union with them, if you do, you're going to end up doing a project together that will mean really big money for you guys. Or a project that will help your community and will help sustain your life together. Whether you're in a relationship now or you're going to be, or if you're only in the relationship with yourself, you're going to do a big project. Go find people that will help you make the success that you need it to be, that you know it can be. Now, if this card shows up in a reading, it is an indication that you're presently involved with others in a way that requires cooperation, or you will soon be. Now, this is in the hopes versus fear position, which means also it's in 3 months. So 3 months from now, this is where you're going to be. And they say it's always a good thing and it's a gift to be appreciated. Who are you going to work with? Are you doing your best to be a part of the team? And is there anything you could do to make the interaction go more smoothly? Is there someone who's not working well with others? And if so, what is the best way to deal with this fact in a useful manner and a productive manner? So those are questions that they say you can ask. And they say it does take many instruments to make an orchestra, but oh, how beautiful the music. This is 3 months from now. I don't see any fear in this card. I just see hope and beauty. It's just like working together, coming together as a community or as a couple or even as a family if you're married with kids. This is an excellent, in fact, I know one person who listens to this show and he just had a spiritual awakening. He has many kids and his wife is his twin flame. And he just had this massive awakening, just became vegan and everything. I wonder what he's going to be doing with his wife in 3 months. What wonderful things are they going to make together? I think it's going to be wonderful. So there we go. We have one more card. And this is the final card that is, oh my gosh, another major arcana. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana. 40% of this reading is major arcana. That's awesome. And I think only 2 of them don't have swords. Okay, 3. Let me see. There's 1, 2, 3. There's only 3. Only 30% of the cards do not have swords. Actually, that's kind of funny. Oh no, 4 of them. So 40% don't have swords. Yeah, right. Because earlier I said 60%. All right. So this is the best card ever. The Sun, guys. It's so amazing. I love this card. Okay, I'm still stuck on the Pentacles section. All right. Here comes the sun. Doo-doo-doo. And I say, it's all right. Okay, look, the Sun. Card 19. The Sun. Oh, the sun will come out tomorrow, guys. I feel really positive. This is 6 months from now. This is the final outcome for all of what we're going through right now. This is such a happy, joy-filled card. Now, in this deck, it shows a mother, a maiden, and a crone dancing together happily and not thinking about anything, not a care in the world, just dancing in the world under the sun, filled with joy in a field of sunflowers. Woo! I just bought sunflower oil yesterday, so sunflowers have been on my brain. And there's 3 cats dancing in the field with these women. It's such a beautiful card. Now, in the original Sun card, it's the divine masculine and the divine feminine in their most innocent form, dancing under the sun and just being so joy-filled and loving life together, but depending on themselves, but moving forward together. So it's kind of like, we're here, we're together, we're combined, and yet we're not reliant on each other. We are dependent on ourselves, and we're moving forward together as a team, working together. So I love the Sun card. It's one of the best cards ever. I love the sun. Every day I look out the window, the way the sun plays in the trees and glimmers on the creek out back. It's just absolutely magical. It's just magic. It's golden. It's literally gold and white light. The sun, let the sun shine in. Oh yeah, I forgot that. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in. You remember that song? Ooh! And guess who sings that song? A band called The Fifth Dimension. If you are really young and you've never heard this song or you didn't know, go listen to it. When the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planets and love will rule us all. There we go. That's it. I want to go listen to that song and listen to it later. So the Sun card, it doesn't get better than this. That's what it says. It freaking says. It doesn't get any better than this. Oh my God, that's the final outcome in 6 months from now. So where are we at? We're in September. So October, November, December, January, February. Puts us right in smack dab a week right before Valentine's Day. It does not get any better than this. A bright yellow sun fills the sky underneath, wearing bright gauzy clothing. 3 witches, a maiden, a mother, and a crone. The budding young woman, the hugely pregnant woman, and the older but still spry woman dance in a circle. They are in the middle of a field of sunflowers with 3 black kittens that are peering out from amongst the sunflowers. One even has a sunflower dangling from its mouth. The mood is celebratory. This is 6 months from now, and glorious. So why shouldn't it be? This is the best day of their lives. What can be more wonderful than dancing in the warmth and the light of the sun? Yeah, I agree. Just standing in that moment, not thinking about anything else but, the sun. It's a perfect day and a perfect company. Not much is better than that. Sometimes life will give you moments, an hour a day of joy and a spontaneous celebration, and you have a sudden breakthrough coming out of the clouds of uncertainty and depression, and maybe you're simply hit by one of those moments, and everything seems to fall into place. Enjoy it. Such times are rare and fleeting, and later you deal with everyday issues, but for today, just dance, baby, dance. And that's 6 months from now. Oh my God, amazing. Things to consider. The sun card is simple and completely positive. Another, along with the star. And what is the sun but a star? And that is the foundation we rest on right now. You guys, that is what we are resting. Our foundation is the star, and our sun is a star. And 6 months from now, boom, golden white light. So this is a good sign. If you ever asked any question at all before you got to this reading, if you're wondering anything earlier, yes is the answer. Yes, yes, yes. 6 months from now, yes. Were you wondering what was going to happen 6 months from now? Is this going to happen? Yes. If it was a positive question, I guess. The sun probably means the answer is yes, or maybe it's just a reminder to take time to just enjoy the good moments when they show up. When is the last time you celebrated something and danced for joy just because you could? Let the sun shine into your life, and joy is sure to follow. Well, there you go. I love you guys. I love you so, so much. I wanted to thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing with all your Facebook groups, your Twitter followers, and your Instagram followers. It's really been helping. My numbers are going up every day, so yay! And thank you. You're helping me to survive because I have one paycheck left. So help me, and thank you so much. I'll always be here for you guys as long as I'm able. So that's it. I'm signing off. I'll be back tomorrow with our unique and original programming. Right now I'm signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy fifth dimension. Until next time, guys, peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.